What up, what up? Uncle Benji here. Welcome back to the channel. We got another great video for you today, talking about one of my favorite artists that I really have not talked about on the channel yet to this point, and that artist is named Niontay. And I have an album here that I'm going to talk about, Dontay's Inferno, which is his first album that he put out on 10K Entertainment, Mike's label. Beautiful artwork on this. You can see the family theme on the front, and I'm going to talk a lot about that with Niontay because it's a key theme of his music from this album all the way through. I like to say on Twitter, I've put this tweet out, I think I've retweeted myself a few times about Niontay. I say Niontay is inevitable because he's an artist that there's no stopping him. Like, it's honestly, he's an artist that should be a lot bigger in my mind than he is right now, because he just has so much flair and style and swag and talent, both as a rapper and as a producer. But he's chosen this career path that he's on, working with Mike and 10K, having fun with his friends, not chasing commercial success, making music that impresses his friends. But the talent it's just present in all of his work. And the variety of his work, the excitement of his work. There's not many young artists, and I don't even know how young Niontay is, but I know he's a young artist compared to a lot of the artists that I listen to. But man, he is a spectacular artist, and I've only been into him for a few years now. It was 2023. This album came out in April of 2023, but I didn't get hip till Niontay until like November, when he dropped a real hip hop video that featured Mike and El Castu and Earl on there, and really changed the game, that video, I'm telling you. Like, there was already stuff happening. I mean, he'd put this album out. His style is very unique. There's other people that were doing unique things with their voice and delivery, being themselves, like Niontay was, that I'll talk a little bit more about what makes his style distinct. But he was doing all that, and then that video dropped, and it was like, okay, clearly the vibe of this video, him and Earl and Mike and El Casto have all been hanging out together and are all having a lot of fun and making music that impresses each other. And Niontay's influence was clearly coming through on everyone else in the crew and the way that they rapped, because he has just such a unique way and has so much fun with what he's doing on the mic that it's just inevitable that if you're hanging with people, you're in the studio with people, it's gonna rub off. And I got to meet him at Young World Fest, a couple weeks ago in New York, and got to tell him that, how impactful that video and how his music has really changed the game since that time. And I see elements of his music in so much stuff since 2023 into 2024, 25, and now it's even more in 2026, where there's so many people that are doing kind of their own version of what Niontay's doing. And it's a cool thing, because what really makes Niontay who he is that there's no one style. He comes from many different places, and they all get incorporated into the way that he raps, the way that he produces, and it's like a kaleidoscope experience listening to his music. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about this album. I really want to go through most of the tracks. It's only a 9-track album, but his lyrics and style are so unique. It's just been something I've wanted to talk about and get some lines down that I can share with y'all so you can really understand, because sometimes it can be tough for people to understand his lyrics. I still don't understand a lot of Niontay lyrics, but I've always felt the vibe of his music and how good of an ear he has for beats, how creative he is with how he's putting his phrasing together. Even if you can't make out everything he's saying, man, it's just earworms everywhere with this guy and the way that he makes music. He produces 6 of the 9 tracks on here, so right out the gate, his first project on 10K, he's producing all sorts of stuff. And he has all sorts of producers he could be working with, but he's making the beats, and these are incredible and varied beats, and this carries through all of his projects. Every time you see a Niontay beat, which he goes as Sex After Church as his beat maker name, and that's where you also find him on social media, but his beats are fire. We start right off from the beginning with City of 100 Plays, and a beautiful incorporation of a well-recognizable sample that Chuck Strangers also utilizes on his new album. So there's a little carryover that you can hear from another artist using the same sample of an album that just came out. But Niontay has really creative styles with not just how he raps, but how he puts his songs together. It's rarely like verse, hook, verse, hook. He has parts of his songs that are hooks, parts of his songs that are verses, parts that you can't tell which is which. He'll be rapping fast, then rapping slow, auto-tuned, chopped and screwed. Everything is incorporated. And this first track, City of 100 Plays, is a great example. And at the end of the track, he has a repeated refrain that I think is really key to this album in his music. It says, chilling with some hoes in the east, but they know my heart in the south. Know his way out in the west, mine stay up in the north. I mean, this is a guy who has lived in Florida, grew up in Milwaukee, then moved to New York. So he's lived in these completely different places and took a little bit of game, a little bit of sauce from all the places he's come from, and it comes out in his music. His accent, there's Florida elements to it. There's other elements in there too that come out. And that's really kind of a mission statement with that hook at the end of where his style is coming from. We get into the second song, Back to High, Back to Reality. And this is a lot where you see the family more coming into play. He raps a lot about his granny throughout this album. You could see like their relationship. There's a crux of like religion there where she's worried about him in the biblical sense and he's making sense of the world in his own way, but he has that relationship with his granny that he doesn't let go, and that comes through. He has lines, bitch, I'm a G like my mama, legit like my mama, bitch, my mama a thug, bitch, I'm a dog like my aunt, dog like my uncle. So, you know, talking about all different family members. Also references his dad. A G like my daddy, bitch, my daddy the GOAT. So he has a lot of love from his family. He has a lot of belief in his family. He sees himself in his family. And obviously, you know, he puts them on the cover here. The same people I'm sure that he's referencing. So when you have a rapper like Niontay who's rapping about a lot of street stuff, but you have this connection to where he came from. Not just the cities that he came from, but the family that made him who he is. And he's always paying reverence through his rhymes if you listen closely. We get into the third song, Thank Allah, and this is really the biggest song from this album. I saw him perform it out at Young World, and once I got tapped into him after Real Hip Hop, I think it was probably the second thing I did was find this video and look it up. It's a very down-to-earth and aspirational song. You listen to Niontay a lot and you're not quite sure exactly what his religious beliefs are, but he has clearly a code and a belief system and a way that he lives his life. And it comes through in his music. Some great lines on here. Lil Daddy, I got demons just like you. Differences, mine gangs, mine squad, mine's cool. He has aspirational raps. Baby, I'm a millionaire already. It's really just pending. So, and that's the way he carries himself in everything that he does. He has a lot of belief in himself, and he could be at a better position, I'm sure, commercially if he wanted to, but he's taking the path that's true to him, that's true to his art, that's true to his friends, and it's going to pay off in the long run because the buzz about Niontay is just getting louder and louder and louder, and it's only a matter of time before people understand the type of artist and musician that he is. Ain't Shit has another repeated chorus, outro, slowed down, chopped and screwed. Like I said, the hooks are everywhere on this. Even in the verses, you can pick out parts of them, and that could be a hook. Where They At is a real standout song on here. It's a back and forth track with Mike. And Mike and Niontay always have so much fun when they're rapping together. You can just tell the video for this is incredible. There's actually a second part of this video where they have sped up vocals that they've just released the full version of, and it is crazy. But anytime these two collaborate, it's a winner. And you know me, you've heard me on the channel, I love back and forth raps, whoever it is, whether it's Billy Woods and Elucid, Mike and Niontay, or next generation of guys that I love to hear when they are rhyming back and forth. They have such great chemistry together and can just seem like it's effortless when they're rhyming like that. Niontay has one of my favorite lines on the whole LP here. I'm finna cut out the hood like a Ford Escape. Just, again, like really simple stuff that, oh, wait, what did he say there? Like that, there's a lot of that with Niontay where it's very slick, but you can get caught just in the style and how he's delivering it and not even catch the rhymes and still appreciate it. '06 Michael Redd has a beat from one of my GOATs, 454, who I also got to see out here around Young World Fest festivities last week in New York. But this one has a fast raps with 454s, a master of, and that type of production too. We got a great verse from Niontay on here in the same style. So just a really fun track following up that collaboration with Mike. And then we get into 1,000 Miles, which is an incredible song. And Niontay, just another chamber of his music. He has some really, really great love songs in his catalog. And I'm sure he'll continue to have more because they're just so great. Why would you not keep making these, you know? Girl, you're 1,000 miles away, but girl, you look so pretty. Yes, you do. And, you know, the beat on this, the emotions that Niontay puts down really shows you how multifaceted he is an artist. He's not just a shit talker. There's a lot behind his music, where it comes from. So at the time this had come out, he'd already released the second EP on 10K. So this was the LP he put out, and then he put out a Demon Muppy EP right after that Real Hip Hop video dropped. And that's an incredible EP as well. So at the end of 2023, between this, the Real Hip Hop video, the Thank Allah video, the Demon Muppy EP, I was all about Niontay. And then we go into the future and he drops For the Love of Money. And then last fall, he put out another tape, Soldier Hate Repellent. Everything he's putting out is showing more and more varied styles, more things he can do, more styles of beats he can make. You just cannot put this guy in a box. He is always doing different kind of things. And I cannot wait to hear what's next. I have a feeling, especially after hearing the Sideshow album this year, which was just incredible, that there's going to be a big Niontay album coming here at some point. I'm not saying he's going to put out a double LP, but I wouldn't be surprised because this guy just has the ability to do that. And he's already put out so much great work in a short period of time. And I cannot wait to see where his career goes from here. He's going to be opening for Earl and Mike here in Indianapolis on the second to last day of the tour that got rescheduled. This is now like in November. So I cannot wait to see that show. You know I'm going to be front row getting videos. Got some incredible videos of Niontay at Young World Fest that shared and gotta love, especially an unreleased song from Laron that's crazy that I got some video out there of. So, you know, if Niontay's coming to your city opening for these guys, go see him. I really hope he gets a headlining tour soon that I get to go see and really get to see him rock an extended set because he has so much great material and he's a fabulous live performer. So you're definitely going to be seeing and hearing more about Niontay from me on this channel. If you follow me on Twitter, if you know me in person, you know how big of a Niontay fan I am. So I can't wait to hear more music from him. But if you haven't tapped in to this album, Dontay's Inferno, go back to see like where it really started. What a special artist this guy is, Niontay. That's the video for today, y'all. Till next week, Uncle Benji, peace out.